press advisory that went online this morning as we are opening this panel from the OGP. IRM releases Philippine report for public comment. The Open Government Partnerships Independent Reporting Mechanism has launched its fifth of 8 reports. This one is on the Philippines and can be found on the IRM-OGP website. IRM progress reports are carried out by an independent researcher under the guidance of an international experts panel. In the Philippines, I was designated to do the report. The researcher carried out a consultative process reviewing government progress with robust consultation with civil society. The goal is to deliver credible, non-partisan description of the OGP process, the results of commitments, and to provide technical recommendations based on the input of government, civil society, and the private sector.
So this is my observation. In the area of improving compliance with transparency B, access to information initiative that I want to extend my comments and observations. Number one, the utilization of websites and information technology to fully implement the FOI, taking into consideration usability, volunteerism. Private sector partners are encouraged to help the government. Trends in IT to adapt to changing times. As you were saying, it was in PDF format, it's not easily accessible. It should be really user-friendly. Number two, the integration of good governance, transparency and accountability, and exercise of rights and responsibilities, including FOI itself in curriculums, in HECASI, or Geograpia, Kasaysayan at Civica in elementary and Makabayan social studies in high school. The reason is that the issue of corruption is quite systemic, that the moral regeneration and education are needed. Our citizens have to know their rights. So what better way to teach them than through schools at an early age? So it will be embedded also in their mind that they should participate and that they have a right to know. The utilization of plain writing in instructions and relevant application of FOI. What I always say is that our constituents, sometimes you need a lawyer to interpret certain manuals from the government. So plain writing is really for ordinary citizens like us who, well, like most of us, I suppose, there's a lot of you here have PhDs and law degrees, but the majority, so that we will be able to understand, even in Tagalog, in the simplest Tagalog form, proper Tagalog, of course. Next is the recognition of the citizens' right to know and the sunshine principles of accountability, transparency, and open government, as reflected in the titles, both main and short. Declaration of policies, coverage in the exercise of the right itself. So we have to put people's freedom of information, because this is ours. The committee report is a product of 2 public hearings, testimonies, position papers, and recommendations from more than 25 resource persons representing the academe, government, NGOs, people organizations, citizens, business communities. And I'd like to thank, of course, Ms. Manu for giving us also her time as a panel.
The executive summary focuses on transparency, and particularly more pertinent now given issues pertaining to PDAP than there has been in the past. From the public, an actual march similar to the size that you have here, in order for things to actually change. Therefore, as you build these platforms, as you build these open data repositories, you must also build in mechanisms by which you allow citizens to provide feedback, and mechanisms to allow them to voice their concerns, their issues, and ensure that their response is listened to and acted upon. And so having these important mechanisms is one aspect, but we must also provide mechanisms for accountability. Also, drawing on the report, and just on my final comments, is publication proactively is good, but you must also have mechanisms to ensure that departments do this on a regular basis. Therefore, we need to also think about what is the incentive structure for departments, both national and local, to publish data, both now but also in a timely manner. And therefore, do we need to look at
regular dialogue was once again agreed on, and NBC has now taken it upon itself to help ensure that this time this happens. We are hoping to have another meeting with the cluster this month, or maybe in November, And aside from the business agenda, good governance, integrity, and anti-corruption are high on our list of concerns. On integrity initiative, let me clarify that this is not an NCC project. The integrity initiative is a private sector-led campaign started by NBC and ECCP. ECCP is the European Chamber of Commerce. It was later on joined by AmCham, IRM, and then MAPIT, the Management Association of the Philippines. And now, at this point, it's already supported by over 30 private sector associations aiming to level the playing field and make good behavior, ethical behavior in business the norm, rather than the opposite, which is happening right now. I think the challenge has always been that part of the problem is, I will not say it's just government, or I may not say it's just private sector, but part of the problem right now is that the system rewards unethical behavior. Okay? It is your competitive advantage if you're willing to pay the bribe, if you're willing to give a commission, if you're willing to negotiate payouts. No? Those are the corporations that get the deals. Now, we have to change that. We have to reverse that so that more and more people can join the integrity initiative. Right now,
And apprehension. On the one hand, we readily saw the OGP is a promising platform for deepening institutional commitment, not only to higher norms of transparency and accountability, but to concrete and innovative initiatives as well. In addition, the international character of OGP, though non-binding, presented a potential disciplining influence for governments to take seriously the commitments they make through their respective action plans. On the other hand, in the context of, at that time, the Aquino administration not giving definitive support to the passage of the FOI 1 year into its term, we feared that the OGP may become a convenient mechanism to legitimize the low transparency comfort zone for the administration and allow it to ignore the long-standing clamor for an FOI law. The mix of optimism and apprehension would characterize our engagement of the OGP throughout the finalization of the government's 2012 action plan towards the end of 2011, as well as its implementation throughout of 2012. The failure of the FOI bill to move in the House of Representatives in the 15th Congress was undeniably a source of tension. On our part, we felt that the measure did not receive decisive support from the executive. And on the other hand, for the transparency champions within the government or within the administration, there was a sense that their transparency efforts were not being appreciated by advocates. And to quote an administration official, it was sapping the morale of allies in government. We certainly welcome, appreciate, and laud the administration's efforts towards proactive transparency. And moving forward, we support its escalation in the direction of using technology for broader reach, for greater usability of formats, and also to improve public service delivery. But to be really a potent instrument of accountability, empowerment of citizens, and meaningful participation, proactive disclosure must be complemented by clear and effective rules for request-based access.
What do you think is the possibility of institutionalization of open contracting? Meaning that everyone, the citizens, will be able to participate in the contracting process itself.
One of the things that will happen in the FOI is that if there are any contracts that are to be billed out, should be posted on the website. So, in a way, this is already actionable data. It's not after the fact. It is something that the users or the ones who will visit the website can actually bid if they want. Another thing that we have there also, and I agree with the World Bank's position that perhaps there should be some sort of merit reward base for merits for uploading data. This is part of our proposal to the committee that we should give recognition to the department that will fully comply with the FOI and the one that will swiftly comply, I mean, the ones that will be able to give their recommendations or post whatever they have
I think having information is good, but I think what really matters is what action or changes does the information triggers. You may have all the information around, but then if there's no action or any change that it triggers, then it's practically useless. And I've seen that in a way, it's important to analyze the information and make it actionable. I think Dr. Hani cited with this somewhat how to make this actionable, like benchmarking, making an integrative platform for this different information, because if they are very fragmented, it's very difficult to trigger action.
The incentive structure there is there will be an online dashboard in which you can actually see, citizens will see how many complaints received, how many was actually responded to, what was the average time to actually respond to a complaint. So all of this is being built into the very fabric or the culture of the organisation. So here, for instance, I think the question one should be, if you're going to release information into the public domain, then are you providing the channels of feedback? And what is the action mechanisms that you're putting in place so that you can effectively respond and ensure that the citizen actually receives a response to the feedback itself? So I think that will differ. I think that will be different for each department and agency depending on the types of information.
Your budget will be approved, you have to be compliant. That's